the ReliefFactor.com studios, here's Mike.
I love that aside from the evangelical leader, Bob Vanderplatz. Trump deserved to lose my endorsement. Matter of fact, I never endorsed him. That's like a pretty important aside. You've never been in Trump's corner. I love all these people that act like it's a big deal that suddenly they're not endorsing Donald Trump, and they've never been in his corner. It's got to be such a weird feeling to be against the guy who's a gazillion points ahead of everybody else. Now, maybe the voters, listen, I got to respect the voters in the primary process. Nobody should be dropping out. I mean, I know Doug Burgum dropped out the other day, but, you know, Chris Christie doesn't need to drop out. DeSantis doesn't need to drop out. Chris Christie is calling, he reacted yesterday. Neil Cavuto, one of his favorite shows, he always races to Neil Cavuto because Cavuto's a never-Trumper. And here he is on Fox News with Cavuto yesterday being asked, well, listen, there's a lot of, because I don't know if Christie's going to be on that debate stage tomorrow night. Tracy, can you give me the latest? See if we find out if Christie is going to be there, because I'm not sure. The last I heard, he didn't have the criteria needed. And then it would only be Governor DeSantis, Ambassador Haley, and Vivek Ramaswamy. That'd be it, which would be a pretty, you know, that would be a pretty epic debate. If there's only 2 or 3 of them, I like that. I don't like it when there's 10 people up on the stage and they're all yapping and they're babbling and they're interrupting each other and all that. If there's 3 of them up there, if it's just DeSantis, now Vivek will infuriate Nikki Haley. She'll start yelling and screeching at him. He'll insult everybody. They'll try to avoid talking about Trump, which is the 800-pound elephant in the room. So I don't know if Chris Christie is going to be up on that stage or not. But he doesn't need to drop out now. Maybe Chris Christie soars in New Hampshire. Maybe Ron DeSantis wins Iowa, giving him the desperately needed momentum that could propel him to the nomination. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Chris Christie, for all of his bluster and all of his rage, and man, oh man, this guy's like a World Wrestling Federation participant with Trump. I mean, you could almost see Chris Christie and Trump in the octagon going at it. All Christie's about is trashing Trump. That's all he wants to. That's his whole purpose. That's his whole reason for being a candidate. What awful, nasty, horrific things can he say about Trump next? That's all he's about. So Neil Cavuto, his fellow never-Trumper, well, no, excuse me, Cavuto used to be very much for Donald Trump before he became against Donald Trump. But I suspect Cavuto has always been against Donald Trump. Here was what Christie said when asked, why don't you drop out? And frankly, I think Christie's answer makes a lot of sense.
Well, You've heard the pressure on you. Well, Christie, you know, great job, brave campaign. You got to bow out to give Nikki a chance, to give DeSantis a chance, you say?
Why shouldn't DeSantis bow out when he was in the mid-30s in these polls that everybody wants to be, you know, slave to? Yeah. He was in the mid-30s back in the spring, and now he's in the single digits. Why shouldn't he be the one to drop out? I was at 0. I'm now at 14 in New Hampshire. We seem to be going in opposite directions.
He's right. Nobody needs to drop out. I mean, they're going to have to make that decision, but why should they drop out? Let the voters start voting. We're weeks away from the Iowa primary. They're going to start making this decision for them. If the Iowa vote reflects the Iowa polling, they should all drop out. If the New Hampshire vote reflects the New Hampshire polling, they should all drop out and coalesce behind Donald Trump. If the South Carolina polling, or voting rather, reflects the polling, they should all coalesce around Donald Trump. But we should at least wait for the primaries, don't you think? 1-800-655-MIKE. Incidentally, Axios is reporting that the RNC has confirmed that Chris Christie will be on the debate stage tomorrow night, along with Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Governor Ron DeSantis. We're going to have lots of coverage of the debate pre and post on Salem News Channel. I'm going to be a guest with Andrew Wilkow tomorrow night at 7:15 Eastern. So download the Salem News Channel app. It's our over-the-top streaming video platform, snc.tv. And check it out. Wilkow, of course, does a terrific job. He's a great host out of New York City. And happy to have him as a teammate on Salem News Channel. So check it out. MikeOnline.com for all things Team Gallagher. Find out where we are, when we are, what we'll be up to. And again, to download the app in time for the debate tomorrow night, snc.tv. I mean, isn't Chris Christie right? Do you think they should all drop out now? You think Ron DeSantis should throw in the towel after coming this far? You think Chris Christie should fold? Be honest here. Give me an honest analysis of Neil Cavuto's question. Bow out to give Nikki Haley a chance to give DeSantis a chance. That was Neil Cavuto's question. How would you answer that? Is it premature to expect any of them to drop out now? Now, you know me. I wish they would. We got a mountain to climb. We got a heavy lift in 2024. It's going to take a lot of work. And we can't have Republicans chipping away at Republicans. We can't be stabbing each other in the back. We better be unified. I played that clip yesterday of Bill Mitchell, the social media influencer, who basically said, "Oh, I'm sorry I've been so mean on you Trump supporters, and I'm sorry I've been so rough on Trump. Let's all get along. We all have to unite. I'm going to be Bill Mitchell, the uniter, rather than the divider." Well, you know what? He's right. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with accepting his apology and accepting the apologies of all the people who've been bagging on Trump all these many months, because we need to defeat the Democrats. There is a darkness upon the land that the Democrats have created. We have lawlessness in the streets. We have no accountability. We have a White House that doesn't muster the integrity to condemn Hamas. You bet we better be unified. But let's let the primaries play out. Montana. Hi, Michael. What do you think? Is Chris Christie right that he shouldn't drop out any sooner than Ron DeSantis should drop out, or do you wish they'd all drop out except Trump?
Well, I think they all should drop out. I mean, been a lot of rhinos, as Trump calls them. I think everybody needs to get behind them. We got a heck of a fight against the Democrats.
We do.
And it's not looking good. They need to get behind each other and do the right thing.
Gotcha. Appreciate it, Michael. Let's see what others have to say. 800-655-MIKE. Ed's in Florida. Hi, Ed.
How you doing today?
Good, sir. How you?
Hey, what I think, I'm great. I think all these guys should drop out. Asa Hutchinson and Burgum, who just dropped out. And what they need to do, instead of wasting that money on these campaigns that'll go no place, donate it to the Prison Fellowship Program.
Wow.
Your drive, and give it to homeless veterans to help them get off the street.
I love that. I like the way you think. I have to admit, I always have a hard time. Like Doug Burgum dropped out this week, and I thought, how many millions of dollars did that guy waste on campaign ads? And how many kids would get Christmas presents on Christmas morning? Oh my gosh, is that with the 400? Oh, that's with the 400. Okay. So I get confused with the numbers. So we had, a few minutes ago, I'm losing track. I don't know. I've lost track. 3220 right now. So 3220. I don't know how many we've added in the last 15 minutes. But go to MikeOnline.com and click on, please click on the Prison Fellowship Angel Tree banner at the top of the page. Mike's in Pittsburgh. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Hey, pretty good. How are you doing this morning?
Good.
Good morning.
I'm good. How are you? Merry Christmas.
Very good. Merry Christmas to you too, my friend. God bless you.
Thank you.
Hey,
sir.
I just want to caution you. I think, you might want to be careful when you describe Nikki Haley as screechy. We can't afford to be alienating any women. We need every single vote we can get. And, she's pretty legit right now. Christie probably is wasting people's time.
And we can't afford, you're right, and we really shouldn't be critical of any of these Republicans who might get the nomination because we're going to have to be on board with any of them who win. You're right. You're absolutely right. And you're right. And I used that adjective that she was screeching at Vivek. I mean, I have to admit, I was a little rattled by how angry she got at Vivek, weren't you?
Well, she definitely has to keep her emotions in check. I mean, if she wants to come across as presidential, she can't be getting pulled down in these rabbit holes either. She's got to stay above it, and she's got to, act tough because she might be speaking for this whole country someday, but the whole world.
But you're totally right to call me out on that, and I apologize. That was the wrong. I shouldn't have used that description, and you're completely right. I'll do better. Thank you, Mike.
Well, you're a big man. Good luck, buddy.
All right, take care. 13 before the hour. He's right. We got to be. Listen, we got to be behind whoever the Republican nominee is going to be, period. You know who I want there. You know who I think is going to be there. But voters have a way of saying, hey, guess what? The polling isn't what I think the polling should be. And they say goodbye.